From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Wentz to throw on second down. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
This is Howard on second down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. A give to Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Wentz steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And incomplete to open things up. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And complete right side to Cook. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Here we go. 12.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
To throw is Breeze. He completes it to Bryant. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Good.
Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2.
Here we go.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Breeze on third down. And Game's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Wentz going to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And Wentz not going to take the snap here. Instead, he turns and calls a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Ertz has it left side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
0-2.
A handoff. It's Murray. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Here we go. Ready. Yellow lady. 53. Check. Ready, my check.
Breeze now on first down. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here we go.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
11.
Now Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a give. This is Murray. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
On second down, here's Breeze. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 30 down to about the 27. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Ready. You ready?
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Breeze. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
95-56. Watch the shift. Under. Got it.
10th carry of the game now. Murray. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Murray, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Now a play fake. Breeze. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. Looks good on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. On first down, they run with Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From midfield, here's Wentz. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dancing to his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
On play action, Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Working from the gun, Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
You're good, you're good. Line 4, ready.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact,
Here we go.
Play action. Breeze. Going deep here for Bryant. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. On 3rd down, Murray. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave them looking at a 4th and 1. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. This one from 48 yards away. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's Wentz to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, second and 10. Wentz again here on second and 10. Right side caught by Jackson. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Go, go. Here we go. It's Louis.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
He's going to air one out, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers of reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And it'll set up 3rd down. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 46. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Eagles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Now,
meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Now in desperation, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 15, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Here we go. 4 down, 4 down. Ready. Yellow waiting, yellow waiting. 550. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.